Hey guys, so I'm in the woods today and I'm going to be learning a few basic knots so that I can set myself up a tarp shelter. I brought with me today the DD Hammocks DD Tarp 3x3 meter. This is a bit of an upgrade for me because previously I've just bought something cheap online, but I discovered after a few camps that actually the lack of attachment points makes a real difference in a tarp, so I've upgraded to this one to allow me to build a few new configurations. So before we get started, I'm just going to clear this area behind me so that I can set up a ridge line for our tarp. As my tarp is 3 meters, I'm thinking I'll set up one end on this tree here and the other end on this tree over here. And hopefully that should give me enough space. So the first knot I'm going to try is called a taut line hitch, and this is what's going to hold up our ridge line. Firstly, wrap it around the tree and then cross them over, wrapping this piece inside the loop once, twice, and then once more on the outside of the loop, and hopefully we should be able to push that all up together, tighten that into a taut line hitch. So what's good about this is that when you've got tension on it, that's not going anywhere, but to move it, all you have to do is simply pull that through and it easily slides along the rope. As I've got a brand new spoil of paracord, I'm going to need to just check I've got enough length for this. I reckon that will do. All I need to do now is just cut this paracord and then burn the end to ensure it doesn't fray. So. If only I bought a lighter that actually works. So now I've cut my paracord to length, I'm going to try my second taut line hitch. So we're going to do one inside the loop, two inside the loop, and then one more on the outside. That actually seemed a little bit easier on that side, I guess because there's a bit of tension in the rope already, so it seems to hold better. But now I just need to tighten that up to make sure we've got a taut ridge line. Right, so that's my ridge line there, and yeah, it looks pretty good. Might be able to tighten up a little bit more, but I'm going to worry about that once I get the tarp over it. So now for the fun part, we've got our DD tarp here, which is 3x3, and for anyone that's interested, this tarp comes with 4 guide ropes and 4 pegs, and it also has 19 attachment points, which is hopefully going to allow for a lot more configurations compared to what I was using before. It's made with a 190T polyester, which is PU coated, and it's olive green. Now let's get out its bag and get it up. So I actually got a little bit ahead of myself. Before we can attach this tarp to the ridge line, I need to sort out the prosec knots which are going to attach it to the line. So to start, I've got a length of paracord here that's approximately 30 centimeters, and I'm going to tie those two ends together. So to start, I'm going to put right over left, and then left over right, and hopefully, that's to secure these two ends together like this. So we've got our loops ready to attach to the ridge line. Ideally I would have singed the ends of these bits of cord, but as I've got a duff lighter with me, that will just have to wait until later. Now let's try and tie a prosec knot. So if you bring the loop behind your rope and then put your knot through once, and then we're going to want to do the same again, and then one last time through there, making sure you keep all your little knots in order. Hopefully that should be our prosec knot. And again, this is another nice one that when it's got tension on it, it holds nice and tight, but it's also really super easy to move along your line. So this is the last one now. I'm just going to do it from the opposite side. I think in hindsight I could have done with making these a little bit longer, so I think I'll cut them probably about 40 centimeters next time, just to give me a bit more flexibility and make it a bit easier doing these knots. But that is all 3 of them on our ridge line now. So now we can attach our tarp. So there's a few ways we can attach our tarp to this knot here. The easiest being is threading the paracord through the tarp and sticking a small stick in there. And then when that pulls back on it, it acts a bit like a toggle, holding it in place. And then you can simply move it up and down wherever you need. Alternatively, you could untie this knot and then tie it straight through the loop, but I think where I've made them a bit short, that's going to be a bit faffy to do, so I'm just going to use the toggle method today. So this is the little packet that the tarp comes with, and inside there should be 4 pegs, so 1 for each corner. It's actually got these little plastic bits on them already, so it just saves us doing it. It's a bit like you get on a tent, I guess, so we can tighten them up with that. So one of the biggest differences with this tarp compared to what I had before is it's got these reinforced patches wherever the attachment points are, which is just going to mean it's a lot stronger, especially in heavier winds. It's going to hold up a lot better. So let's get this first one pegged in. To attach the guy rope to the tarp, I'm just doing a real simple knot. Again, I don't know the name, I really should learn them, but I will add it on the screen. But just literally tying a loop through the end there, so you're left with this, and then threading that through the tarp attachment point, and then putting the rest of the guy rope through that loop. And then, once you pull that through, that stays tight on there. And we can attach it to the ground. Pretty good. To keep things simple, I'm just going to peg these back corners directly into the ground without using the guy rope. So that's it, it's up, and I'm personally pretty happy with that. I just want to try one last thing, which is propping up these front corners with a big stick so that I can sit underneath it and make myself a cup of coffee. Right, so I found one stick, so I'm just going to start on this corner here, give it a go. First by loosening this guy line, then I can prop my stick under there, make sure it's down, and then just tighten this up again. And there we go. First corner propped up, now to find another stick. Right, found one more. Let's do the same again on this side. Loosen it off. Get your stick under there. Ah, no. There we go, got a shelter propped up. Now to grab my gear and get a brew going. So that's it, that's my tarp shelter for beginners. Hopefully you like this. Let me know if you'd like to know any more information about this tarp in the comments below. I'll also leave details for all the products I use in the description. But if you liked this, maybe check out my latest video here, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.